What is up, YouTubers? Jonza here, and welcome back to another episode of Zawcasters. And if you guys remember, a few episodes ago, I was talking about Pokemon Legends of Arceus, and now we have Gen 9 coming out, which is very, very interesting. Now, this is also a few weeks after the release, or not the release, but like after the announcement of Gen 9. And I do want to make sure I let you guys know when I'm recording this, so you don't hate me for getting some information wrong if something else comes out by the time this comes out, because I am recording this the day after the Pokemon Presents. I can't speak. But yeah, also another note, if I haven't already said it on my main channel already, but reason being me not doing a reaction to it is because I already watched it at a friend's place and I didn't have all my recording things all set up and everything, so I couldn't do a reaction. But yeah, I was staying over at my friend's like the night before, so I was pretty much there during the morning. So we both just watched it together because why not? But yeah, Gen 9, wow. Honestly, was not expecting Gen 9. I was not really expecting Gen 9 to appear so soon. Like, I mean, it's almost been like, I have to say it's like been 2.5 years since since Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, which, I don't know, just doesn't seem that long ago that came out. But at the same time it kind of does, especially since we've had a bunch of other Pokemon games that came out in between that time. I mean, we've had Mystery Dungeon, even had new Pokemon Snap, we've had Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Arceus just recently, which is very interesting. And after looking at what, how the game looks, it almost kind of looks like what Arceus is like in a way. Almost. I mean, obviously graphics are a little different, but like you can see Pokemon in the overworld on routes, so I wonder if they're still going to take that turn and make it kind of like Arceus in a way. Which that would be interesting, especially since now it'll be more in modern times instead of back in the late past. Which is very interesting, like, just with the fact that, they're bringing out two major, like, great games, for 2022, which is interesting, because if you guys watched till the end of that trailer, they mentioned it was going to be coming out late 2022. And we've just got Pokemon Legends of Arceus literally the start of 2022. I mean, that's still a nice, like, spam time between, like, Pokemon games in general, but, like, I don't know, it just kind of caught me by surprise a little bit with, Pokemon Gen 9. I was not honestly expecting Pokemon Gen 9 to be a thing just yet. Maybe like a few more months, then maybe Gen 9, but like, yeah. Also, regarding the anime, I have a little note here. Apparently, this is just from someone's post, so it may not be accurate, you know. But it also says Pokemon Journeys is ending at episode 130. And I've been keeping up with the anime, and by March 4th, it's going to be the 100th episode, which that's going to be with, that's the episode where Ash and Leon are hanging out and something. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet since I'm recording on the 28th of February. But, you know, that's, it's very interesting. A funny thing I also noticed after watching some other people's reactions to Gen 9, like literally at the start, everyone was saying it was Detective Pikachu. Which, funny enough, that's what I said to my friend as well. Like, is this Detective Pikachu? Like, it really gave off that vibe that it was going to be like a Detective Pikachu thing. I didn't think it was either going to be like a movie or a game or anything. Like, I didn't pick between the two, but I was just thinking, like, it has something to do with Detective Pikachu in a way, when everyone else, like, in their reactions, like, is this Detective Pikachu 2? Is this Detective Pikachu 2? Like, I just found it so amusing that every single person that I've seen react guessed it was Detective Pikachu 2. which is hilarious. I mean, obviously I'm one of those people, but like, I don't know. I mean, if you guys didn't think it was Detective Pikachu to start off, put it down in the comments, and don't lie either. But yeah, it's very interesting how this game's gonna turn out, especially since like they announced it like already partway like after the first 2 months of the year, and they already say it's gonna be coming out by the end of this year. Now, I know that's still like a lot of time to go in between there and then, but if we think about it, well, we have to think about that. Like, don't mind what you just heard on my phone. I just set my phone down. Um, but we have to like consider the fact that this new Pokemon Gen 9, which obviously we know the names are Scarlet and Violet. I don't know why I keep saying Gen 9. But yeah, it's interesting that they're called Scarlet and Violet. Very interesting. Um, Kind of going back to colors, like we haven't really gone back to like color generations since like 5 actually. You know, that's kind of a pattern in a way. Because there was red and blue to start off, and yellow, obviously. There was those, which was the very first Pokemon games. And then we went to gold and silver, which, I mean, I guess they are kind of colors, but at the same time, like, they're physical objects too. And then we have Omega Ruby, or Ruby Sapphire and Emerald. Then we had Diamond, Platinum, and Pearl. Don't know why I said it in that order. And then Gen 5, they had Black and White, which is back to color based. And then we went over to Generation 6, which had... maybe it isn't in a pattern. Maybe I am kind of... Because between Gen 5 and 9, there's 3 generations. And then in between 1 and 5, there's 3? No, I was right. It is. Yeah, yeah. Because after in Gen 6, that's... it's X and Y, and then it goes to Sun and Moon, and then Sword and Shield, and then we're back to colors again, which is interesting. So, if we had to guess what generation would be next for color names for the game, I think it's gonna be like 13, right? Generation 13. Oh god, that's a mouthful. Generation 13. Because okay, between 9 it would be 10, 11, 12, yeah. So it would be 13. Which is interesting. Interesting enough. I don't know, like, I don't want to say, like, where the game, like, is from. Like, what, like, country and all that is going to be based off. But my first thoughts was probably, like, London for some reason. It's obviously not London. Probably. I don't know, but, like... I don't know, it just kind of gave me those vibes. But, anyways, just gonna talk very quietly for a second so I can, do the jump cut so I remember to do this. And, bam, look, there are the starters. I just wanted to make sure I know for myself later to actually put a picture of the starters, which, honestly, they're very interesting in my opinion. I do like them. They're pretty cool and all. And yeah, I mean, their names are a little hard to pronounce, especially the cat one. Like, the cat's Springettito? Springettio. I don't know. That's the grass cat, and then we have Fuecoco, which is the apple-looking alligator, and then we have Quaxly, the water duck Pokemon. So, yeah, I'm gonna say these starters are somewhat interesting. Be a little scared of the cat and what it could evolve into because of some people in the fan base. The one that I definitely find most interesting is the fire one, which I don't know if it actually changed its design a little bit, because I'm like, the photo I'm looking at right now, it might be different from what I put up for you guys, but the photo I have up, like, Fuecoco has like a little stem up top, right? Like, it was green before, but now I'm looking at it with like kind of a bit of a yellow look. Which is funny because when it was green, it almost didn't seem like he was a fire type, honestly. Like, all I see is like apple, and I'm like, that's not a fire type. And he's also mostly red, so that's interesting, with a white face. And he's supposed to be based off a crocodile as well, or an alligator. Probably a crocodile, yeah. But, like, that's also an interesting fact, though, because if you guys remember the Chinese wheel thing with how the fire stars have always represented one of those types of animals. This time it doesn't because we don't have a crocodile in that Chinese wheel. It's either like an ox, a snake. Um, what else was there? I trying to remember on top of my head, but I definitely know there wasn't crocodile on there as well, which is very interesting. And then we have a duck with a hairdo, which is kind of interesting because you can compare Quaxly to a ducklet in a way because they're both water ducks. So interesting to see what would happen there. This is technically also like the fourth bird Pokemon as well, which is interesting because, or starter Pokemon, or fourth bird starter Pokemon, I could say, because I think the first one was Torchic, then it went to Piplup, and then not until Rowlet, and now we have this duck, which is a water type. Which, I mean, I like them. They look interesting. I'm just interested to see what they become, and I don't know. Like, they'll probably like grow a bit more on me when I actually get to see them in gameplay. Because honestly, like, obviously with the trailer, we haven't had any gameplay, and the starters are the only ones that we know, like, are the newest Pokemon in Generation 9, Scarlet and Violet. Which brings me to another little topic that we'll have to bring up as well. It was also kind of like mentioned in some news stuff about Pokemon and stuff, but like obviously we aren't going to be getting any, like we're not going to have every single Pokemon in that game, obviously, because, well, for one, it's a lot of Pokemon in general, and, well, they've already done that with Sword and Shield, so it only makes sense that they're not bringing in every Pokemon. Like, that game kind of ships in sales after Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Like, that was the last game to have, like, every single Pokemon in it, besides the newer generations, which, is understandable. Like, you have to put so many in that one game, and right now, like, we already have over 900. Like, even after this generation, are we gonna make it like past 1,000, or are they not gonna go that far just yet? Like, are they gonna make it up to like 999? That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to know what the 1,000th Pokemon would be. Because we're getting up there. Like, okay, so before even Legends of Arceus even happened, like, just with the Sword and Shield DLC, it was just below 900. So added in with the Pokemon from the Hisui region, like the new ones, obviously, like Wadir, Ursaluna, uh, what was his name? Basculegion, like a bunch of those other ones that are like brand new, Cleavior, like that just brings it just a little bit above 900, which is very interesting in my opinion. Obviously, they're going to be marked as Gen 8 because I guess it's kind of like in the same situation as Milton and Melmetal because they weren't technically in the in those generation games, like in the Gen 7 generation games, but like it was still like before Gen 8 even happened, so there's that. But yeah. I'm very interested to see what happens and what Pokemon get brought in. As for Pokemon I learned in this game, and can probably find interesting to put in. Well, obviously, like two of the most popular ones are Pikachu and Lucario. They are definitely 100% in because they were in the trailer. We know Swablu and Altaria are going to be in the game. We have Magnemite, Magnezone. We have Seviper, I remember. We have Hoppip, which that whole evolution line's going to be in, which is interesting. We've had Pelipper's line and Clawitzer. Like, those are just some of the confirmed ones we have. There might be, like, still quite a bit of Pokemon that will be added into the game. Um, Obviously, we most likely will have the Gen 1 starters as well. I say like most likely because, well, obviously in Legends of Arceus, those starters aren't even in Legends of Arceus. Like, we don't have Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur, no Charizard, or anything in Legends of Arceus. So, it's very interesting that they didn't add those characters in, especially for almost being like a mainline Pokemon game as well, developed by Game Freak, which is interesting. It's very interesting. Like, obviously, the only starters that were in there were the Hisui starters, which were the mix of some of the other generation starters, and Gen 4, which obviously Gen 4, that was what Hisui was before it became the Sinnoh region, obviously. So we've had like Chimchar, Piplup, Turtwig, and then of course the starters for the Hisui region were Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet, which is interesting. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm also kind of remembering from a list as well because I think there was some sort of list that Game Freak leaked or something that mentioned some Pokemon that are not going to be coming back anytime soon. Which, if I remember, some of the later generation Pokemon are like not like the more recent starters, I guess you could say, are not coming back. Well, besides like Gen 8 and 7, I believe. Like, I think it's mostly like Gen 5 and 6, I believe. Which is kind of a bummer because Greninja's in that list, so. And I would like to use Greninja again, like, in future games, but, like, obviously, that's not going to be the case. So, as much as I would like Greninja to be in Scarlet and Violet, there's probably a good chance that Greninja's not going to be in there. Um, Gen 4 starters, I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't know. Maybe they might want to take a break from most of the Gen 4 generations a little bit, especially since we've had like the two recent games that came out were BDSP and Legends of Arceus, which kind of based around Sinnoh in a way. So there could be a good chance that they might cut them from this next game, but we'll have to see. From other starters, it's hard to tell. I mean, they might bring back the Johto starters. I mean, I know we just recently had Cyndaquil in the last game in Arceus, but like they could bring Cyndaquil and then Totodile and Chikorita again. Since I think it's been a while since those Pokemon have been in some games. Well, I mean, they are in like BDSP and you can catch them in post game, but you know, or maybe I don't know. Maybe that list won't be relevant. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But like honestly, I would love to have like every starter in this generation. I think it would be nice, but knowing how the games are like, it's most likely not going to happen. I mean, in Generation 8, we didn't even really have all the starters available or like available for playing in Sword and Shield. We only had like Gens 1, 3, 7, and 8. Those were the only ones that were in there. They didn't add Gen 2, 4, 5, and 6. Those were literally the ones that got cut for Sword and Shield. But, I don't know. I guess it kind of also depends how people like if anything, they might think of their fans a little bit and see like what type of starters are probably the best. Which sadly, a lot of people do like Greninja, but like I don't think they like the other two, like Delphox and Chestnut, which I mean is understandable in a way, but like even like honestly, like Chestnut and Delphox, they're not like my most absolute favorite starters, but I do still like them. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Honestly, like I've also really uh liked Gengar and Dragonite over the years after Ash has caught him as well. So um, I would like to see them come back as well. Especially like maybe Dragonite because another thing I also forgot to mention is that obviously there were some Pokemon that were added into Pokemon Sword and Shield from the DLC expansion pass. Which who knows if they're gonna do that with this game too. I mean, it could be possible that they might have DLC for that game later in the future, but we can only sit and hope. But yeah, going back with Dragonite, it wasn't like added in right away. It was not until the second DLC of Pokemon Sword and Shield that he was added to the game. So it'd be nice to have him in the main game. And like I was saying before, with the starters as well, Generation 3 was the ones that were added into Sword and Shield by the second DLC as well. Like before that, the only other starters that were already available for the game are the Kanto starters, and then Gen 7 and 8 starters as well. I mean, obviously the 8 because that's its generation. 7 because people love Generation 7 sometimes, or most of the time. At least they're starters. And then, Gen 1, the classic, so, I mean, if they already added, Charizard and stuff, and he was going to be a main plot line to the game anyways, it makes sense to add the other two as well. Even though they weren't really, major plot points until, the Isle of Armor, the first DLC, came out. You were able to have them in-game and just use them, Squirtle to Blastoise and Bulbasaur to Venusaur. You just have to have them, traded in or something. But you could honestly get your own Bulbasaur and Squirtle pretty much in the Isle of Armor DLC. So, there's that. As for other Pokemon I would like in the game, it's kind of hard to list some specific ones. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I would like to see Crocodile again. I love Crocodile, honestly. I think he's a real powerhouse. I don't know why I said it like that. A real powerhouse with, especially with his Moxie ability, how, he's able to knock out an opponent and then get stronger afterwards. That's definitely broken. And, honestly, I just like Crocodile in general. I think he's a very good, Dark-type Pokemon, honestly. I love Goodra, and I would like him to come back as well. Even though he was in Legends of Arceus anyways, but I mean, Goodra's been available in a lot of the recent games. Obviously not BDSP because that was specifically between Gen 1 and Gen 4 only, so they didn't add any of the other future ones. And then, I know they didn't add a lot of the, Pokemon after... the Pokemon after Gen 4, not too many into Legends of Arceus, but, they still added a few with, Goomy and then the Sui and Goodra and Sliggoo. So, I mean, I would really like to see them. Obviously, I would like to see Greninja again. I also would like to see Sceptile again. Sceptile is a pretty good grass starter in my case. Honestly, I feel like if there was a hard pick for me to have for starters, it would be between Charmander, Trico, or Froakie pretty much. Or it could also, instead of Charmander, it could be Chimchar. Could be another sort of way. But yeah, those would be some of the starters I would pick. I think Gliscor would be kind of cool to have. I would like to attain a Gliscor. Maybe Togekiss. Mamoswine's a beast. It'd be nice to have Mamoswine. I don't know if Apom or Ambipom were in, wait, did they? No. I don't think I did see them. I thought about the trailer for a second and I was like, were they in the trailer? And I was like, no. I know Meowth's in the trailer. And we haven't seen anything with Eevees yet, but there's probably a good chance that the Eevee evolution's obviously going to be in there. Because literally at this day and age, Eevee's literally the second mascot at this point, which honestly I love Eevee in general. Eevee's a really cool Pokemon. I definitely put Eevee in as one of my favorite Pokemon for sure. If you guys don't know me or see my main channel because there might have been stuff on some of my vlogs before, but I have a poster of it's like almost like an Eevee evolution poster a little bit. Like it has all the Eevee evolutions thus far plus Pikachu in it. So that one's a cute little poster that I have. Like has Pikachu and Eevee up front, and then in the background we have like all the other Eevee evolutions kind of doing posing a little bit behind Pikachu and Eevee, which is kind of cute. So I could see Eevee and the other evolutions being in Gen 9. Um, I don't know if I mean they most likely won't, but like another Eevee evolution for future games, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You also have to consider like there's probably still like more Pokemon that we have to get info on eventually as well. Like the legendary Pokemon, like we still need to know what they are, especially for people who want to figure out what type of Pokemon game they want. So far, just off of name basis, I might go Violet, honestly, just in my opinion. Um, but yeah, that's the only thing I can really go off of. And then like we have to have like remember the fact that we're going to be getting some new Pokemon as well, which is interesting. But yeah, honestly, for the release date of Scarlet and Violet, it's got to be like right around November. It has to be in November for sure. Because, well, okay, kind of two reasons, but they're kind of the same reason at the same time. It's the fact that Sword and Shield, that came out November 2019. I remember it came out November 2019 around that time. And then literally like not that long ago we've had Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which if I remember correctly, that came out in November as well. So I'm pretty sure this new generation is also going to be coming out in November. I don't know if it's been like that for the other past games. Well, obviously not Legends of Arceus, that came out recently. um, but like other mainline games like Sun and Moon, X and Y, I don't know if those have been November. I mean, it's a possibility because I do remember again X and Y, or X at least, Pokemon X around Christmas in 2013. So, and I know that came out 2013 for sure. So it could have came out during November. It's a possibility. So yeah, it's most likely going to be coming out in November, obviously for this year. I still find it amazing that they're going to draw like two fantastic Pokemon games this year as well, which is interesting. Another fun fact also with Generation 9, it's gonna be like literally coming out around the same time that Sonic Frontiers is, which is interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting near the end of 2022, and hopefully a little more sane for like life purposes, just with a certain pandemic going on at the moment. Uh, Speaking of that, I mean, I know this could be going off topic of Pokemon and all, but like, apparently around here, well, this is also, remember when I'm saying this, this is literally by the end of February 2022, so may not be on point information, but like, I think they say sometime during next month or something that you're not gonna need your like vaccine passports to show off for like going to places or eating at restaurants or anything like that. Like, you're not going to need that. And I think some places are going to, like, you won't have to wear your mask inside anymore, which, I mean, if we're all comfortable with that eventually. Like, obviously they say you don't have to, but, like, for safety purposes, like, you can still wear it, obviously. But yeah, just wanted to point that out a little bit. Other than that, I really don't know what else I have to say for Pokemon right now. That was kind of all I really had on mind. I definitely saw it like as a big surprise. Like obviously that was the only game that was really announced during Pokemon Day, which is still like a big game and everything. And honestly, they've added a few updates and stuff to Pokemon. Um, In fact, for me, I have to probably do another episode of Arceus, even though I literally just finished recording that Let's Play. And then record something for Brilliant Diamond as well, because the Shaman event also came out during that time, so that's interesting. And Hoopa's also been added into Pokemon Unite, which is a game I play as well. And I have been thinking of maybe playing Pokemon Calf Mix as well at some point as well. After just kind of seeing its update recently, I'm like, maybe I'll try it out. Because I actually do have Poke Calf Mix. I just have never played it yet. I don't know. There's a lot of games on my main channel that I wanted to play for the longest time, but like other things have gotten in the way, more exciting things and other stuff. But if I do have time eventually to play those types of games, I will play them. Like I got those extra games to play when the time comes for my Let's Plays. Which obviously, if you don't know, I have a main channel, which is my gaming channel, just called Jonza. So it's just where I do like Let's Plays and stuff. Obviously, it's not the best quality because I normally record on my iPad. Well, technically, I am recording on my iPad as well, but like I'm only recording the audio. I mean, I guess I'm kind of recording video too, but like literally, my iPad's facing down for where the camera's pointing, so it's all just darkness. And then I just have the background anyways while you guys listen to me ramble. That's normally how I do for the podcast. But like other than that, I normally just record on my iPad, recording my TV while I'm playing, and that's normally how I do things. I know I should probably have like a capture card and stuff, but this is also the case of my laptop. Sometimes is a piece of shit. So yeah, I mean it's at least usable, so I can like edit and export videos and get those out there for you guys. Obviously, like it still works in those regards. It's just kind of like with some programs, it's just a little iffy, if you kind of understand my drift. But yeah. As for like any other type of Pokemon game I would like to see in the future, I mean, obviously, like I'm not gonna say anything about Generation 10 anytime soon. But then probably by Generation 10, people are gonna say Gen 5 remix. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if they'll want a Gen 5 remake. Because I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of Gen 5, especially since I think that's where a lot of people kind of fell from Pokemon in a way. I mean, I was at least kind of getting started around Gen 4, and then Gen 5 happened. Which, funny enough for me, I thought Gen 5 was like Gen 2 for me at the time, until I learned about the previous generations. I was like, oh, okay, so this is number 5. Interesting. But, yeah. What did I want to say? There was something I wanted to say. Fuck. You always have like those brain farts, you know, where you want to say something, but then you kind of forget. I know it was something Pokemon related. Oh, right. Games and stuff that I'd like to see. It would be nice to have another Pokepark game, but I don't know if they're ever going to do it again. Like, they've only had the 2 games out so far. But, like, hey, anything's possible at this point for any Pokemon game to kind of show up, because, well, hell, Pokemon Snap got another game after, like, how many years? Like, almost a whole decade? Like, after 2 decades? Like, when did the first Pokemon Snap come out? Like, around 1999 or something like that, around there? And then it was, like, literally around, I think, like, at least 2022 or something. I literally can't remember when, like, the newest one actually came out. I know it was a while ago. It could have been 2021, like, near the beginning of 2021, maybe. Or near the end of 2022. I can't actually remember. But, that's, like, a huge jump between the two. So, it wouldn't be surprising if they decided to make another, like, Pokepark game eventually, which I wouldn't mind. Like, I honestly love both Pokepark games. I really do. Obviously, there's some stuff I would have liked for in between both of them, but other than that, I still enjoy them as they are. Like, hell. Just for Pokepark 2, for example, I literally got that game done in 2 days. Well, I wouldn't say, like, everything done. Just, like, the main story done. Pretty much, well, spoiler alert if you haven't actually play the game yourself, but like literally right when the Dark Vortex, like you get rid of the Dark Vortex at the end and save Pokepark. That's literally what I've done up in 2 days practically. I was like just so hyper when I first played it as a kid. And I wouldn't mind playing another Pokepark game for sure. Like if there was another one coming out. And as your like friends, who knows at this point what the starters are gonna be? Like the other starter Pokemon that'll be your friends, because the first the first Pokemon Park game that was with like obviously your Pikachu, and then like your friends were like Charmander, Piplup, and Chikorita. They were like your main starter friends, even though you didn't get to play as them. Well, you kind of did, but like they were more for attraction. But like, you know, they were still your friends. And then Pokepark 2 happened where you can play as the other starters, and of course that was only the Gen 5 starters, because they literally made it right like after when Gen 5 started, which the first one was made like when Gen 4 was happening. So you know, and now with Gen 9 happening, who knows what starter? Like, are they going to use some of the newer starters? They're going to put in some old ones. Like, it's hard to tell, because I honestly thought the newest generation would probably have, like, 3 starters from, like, different, like, from the more 3 recent ones that weren't in Pokepark so far, for, like, Gen 6, 7, and 8, which I would have liked to have, like, with Pikachu's side, it'd be, like, Froakie, Rowlet, and then Litten. In a way, well, it was either that or Froakie, Scorbunny, Grookey, Litten. I got that mixed up, didn't I? But it'd be Froakie, Scorbunny, Rowlet, or Froakie, Litten, Grookey. That'd be the case. So, yeah. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games would be interesting as well. Like, obviously, you probably wouldn't have every Pokemon in this one, but I know like they're I wouldn't say like their newest one, but like the newest that wasn't like a remake or remastered or anything like that was Super Mystery Dungeon, which that had like, I think that had like literally all the Pokemon from Gen 1 to 6, obviously. So obviously they probably wouldn't do that for the next one, but it'd be interesting to see that happen again. And, like, you know, you can still pick between, like, all the different starters. Like, I at least would have liked that. Like, you know. I don't know, just some stuff I would like to see in the future. Obviously, maybe some Pokemon Stadium games again. Like, I think the last kind of Stadium game was Pokemon Battle Revolution, which that was an interesting game. But, yeah. Well, anyways, I think I'm going to end this here because, for one, I really need to go to the bathroom, and we're pretty much around the time of ending off anyway. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. If you guys like this podcast video, press like button or subscribe to whatever, and I'll see you dudes in the next podcast. See you dudes next time.